You're watching The Mainstream. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, your host for today, and we are back with another episode of our exclusive series, CTO Unplugged. Today, we are joined by Mr. Krishna Swami. He's a Chief Technology Officer at Aptus Value Housing Finance India Limited. Mr. Swami needs no introduction, but I will still take this opportunity to share a few things about him. With over 24 years of experience in IT consulting, project management, technology solutions, and information security, he brings extensive expertise from his work with leading MNCs. He joined Aptus in 2016, having previously worked with CSS Corp, Efficient, and ToraWeb Technologies. A certified Scrum Master with an MSc in IT and a diploma in design thinking from Stanford, Mr. Krishnaswamy is known for his leadership in policy implementation, strategic thinking, and building high performance teams across diverse domains like ERP, banking, and social services. Today, we are more than excited to hear his insights related to housing, finance, and the Indian landscape. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Mr. Swami, you have a dynamic experience of over 24 years in the industry. You're currently a Chief Technology Officer with Aptus. If you could tell us a bit about this journey and how the experience has been so far.
The experience is diverse, great, and a lot of learning all through these years. It has been. When you work in various organizations at various levels, basically you learn a lot, interacting with various customers, understanding the technological needs, what customers need, and how we want to implement them over a period of time. So it will be very exciting to understand so much in the space to offer and to contribute basically. So it's been a very exciting journey and it is an ongoing learning throughout this journey, understanding what the business needs and trying to bring in something which will give value, provide value to the businesses over a period of time.
Absolutely. And, like you said, everything has been evolving over the years. And in your perspective, I would like to understand from you, how has emerging technologies transformed, especially in the context of finance or housing finance for that matter, from the past few years?
See, the transformation in the terms of financial industry with the emerging technologies has been so rapid. It is so good for the customers and for the organizations, both actually. It has benefited the customers, bringing in transparency, bringing in speed of scale, bringing in easy evaluations and disbursements actually. And it also helped organizations in enabling to do this by bringing in speed to their operations, reducing frauds, making it seamless basically across customer journey. It is like completely data driven, connected space where customer 360, you can have a look at the customer and you exactly know what customer needs and how you can provide. And in this space, actually, where we are there in affordable housing, it helps customers when it brings in transparency, it means a lot to the customers. And when you bring in speed for those people who are not part of formal customers, who do not have such financial, footprint already there, but they are new to this financial footprint or the digital footprint, it helps a lot to the customers who are in tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 towns, basically.
Absolutely. And along those lines, because you emphasized a lot on customer experience, them being the priority these days, because we are living in a very hyper connected world, customer experience is now a top priority across all the sectors. But when we talk this, especially with the background of, finance and housing finance for that matter, how are technologies like AI shaping this customer experience when there is so much of, risk assessment involved, loan processing involved as well?
This emerging technologies, your earlier point, it makes a lot of sense because it has impacted in KYCs, it has impacted in credit evaluation, it has impacted in, through various means, through policies and other stuff actually, like payment systems, new payment, easier payment systems, digitizing loan agreements, account aggregators, collecting customer documents. See how AI can be used is during we can AI, especially during risk management, through machine learning, we can learn a lot of patterns. It will be better than business rule engines, which may miss out a few subtle patterns actually. Okay, so business rule engines are there. We can create scorecards, but still AI can read large data, easily, faster, and in a more accurate manner, basically. This can help in reducing fraud. This can help also in understanding the customer behavior, basically, okay, over a long period of time. So what it does is basically the anomalies can be found out easily, and you can also find out customer behavior patterns. Certainly, you can find out. You can also find out basically. You can also predict customers. You can. We actually, in fact, we did forecasting on customer behavior, like the default of forecasting we did actually. So these all predictions can be done using statistical models. You can reduce, you can also reduce false positives basically using this. So a lot of these things can be done. And also customer experience also can be enhanced through not only for collections, but it also helps us in, various stages of the loan stages. You can help customer in understanding what exactly the situation for him is, or probably where the evaluation stands as of it. So it becomes easy. The customer interaction becomes easy. Frauds can be reduced, risks can be reduced to a greater extent, and you can understand the customer a lot actually through machine learning and understanding the patterns, their behaviors. So it is very much needed actually. In a very positive light, I would say AI can help organizations and finance, especially in the housing finance and the financial sector. It can go a long way in assisting the organizations, help building a very good pool of customers. Basically, the quality of the portfolio itself can increase. The quality of portfolio can be maintained in a much better way.
Absolutely, and rightly said so, Mr. Swami. I think what we have observed so far is AI, especially when it comes to finance and housing finance sector, although it is not heavily implemented, but to some extent it does reduce down the human efforts. When it comes to providing a seamless experience to customers. But along the lines, because we are all strongly emphasizing on digital transformation these days, how is Aptus Value Housing Finance ensuring there is digital transformation initiative implemented at every stage, but at the same time there are also robust cybersecurity measures that are taken.
I would take a few steps back actually with this digital initiatives or transformation basically. As you know, computing has moved from desktop and then to the laptops, and then today your computing is in your mobile. Okay, so this helps. This is how the progression has happened. Today, if you see the KYC's verification happens right in front in customer's house. Basically, the customer doesn't need to come out anywhere, or he can do it from his mobile itself. Then bank accounts to account aggregator. Again, it's an RBI initiative. Through account aggregator, you can download bank statements, you can get an approval from customers, and you can see their financial transactions for eligibilities, basically. And similarly, in collections, UPIs have come. You see, typically before UPI, for companies which are in tier 3, tier 4 towns, apart from the mandates, basically, the cash collection used to be huge. Today, if you see, the cash collection is negligible. It eliminates risks in many ways, actually. Collecting cash, depositing it in bank, keeping it overnight in branch. So many things it eliminates through immediate payment, actually through UPI, BBPS. Multiple payment modes are available, actually. And these are the best in the world, I would say. So these emerging technologies are very much needed. Loan agreements, especially. Again, we have done a digital loan agreement. Today, customer did not sign some 100 papers actually. So he can sign one digital agreement which will be valid. And customer service, we have created a customer app actually where customer can raise his service request. He can refer a customer, earn his incentives. Okay, whatever request, it reaches immediately. There are, and he can see his last due, when he has paid his last due, when is his next due coming, everything on the mobile today. So he doesn't need to go anywhere physically. He doesn't need to, worry about his money being safe. He can see his transactions, he can see his balance, whatever it is. So in this way, if you see, digital transformation has completely revolutionized the way customer experiences a financial company, or how he transacts with a financial company. So yes, when we do all this, actually, we need to protect customers' data, and also we need to ensure that some cybersecurity is taken care of. So much of digital transactions happening. So this is a continuous process, I would say. We enable systems, in multiple levels actually to ensure customer security through mobile device management, through security information and event management actually, and also through security orchestration and automated response where continuous monitoring happens. That implementation is right now we are taking place. So there are multiple ways of ensuring how we safeguard ourselves, safeguard customers' data, follow compliances from regulators, basically in terms of taking care of customers' data. So these are all very important things. It is a challenge and it will be a challenge always as we do so many things. But it is also important for organizations to understand that securing these customer assets and protecting data is a part of the responsibility of the organization, and we will do that.
Great. And, Mr. Swami, along taking cues from what you just said about customer data, today data privacy is at the heart of matter when it comes to, finance, any sector for that matter. But at the same time, we are also observing a shift in technological implementation. A lot of financial institutions today are adopting to cloud-based solutions. So what role does cloud technology play when it comes to ensuring a seamless experience and also providing that secure ecosystem?
Cloud enablement or adapting to cloud, I personally, if you ask me, I feel it has become mandatory today in today's world. It offers you platform as a service, software as a service, you can have infrastructure as a service, all these included, right? So you can just go and up and running in a very short period of time. And scalability is a big plus in cloud actually. So I would say organizations as we move forward, the cloud adoption probably today maybe in a single cloud, tomorrow they can be in a multi-cloud environment basically. This is a huge necessity where you can create your disaster recovery or you want to create your backups. Today you have an option that you don't need to have a physical infrastructure always on-prem that you need to have create a huge burden on physical infrastructure, which also comes with a limited scope of scalability. And scalability, and also it comes with an end of life, where you need to keep upgrading, you need to keep refreshing the whole hardware and software available. To that extent, cloud helps us basically to overcome this challenge. And it also helps organization to keep things simple. The one thing what we need to evaluate while being in cloud is we need to evaluate what we actually need for business transactions, what we want to keep, how much of storage you want to keep, how much of computing you want to have. A proper evaluation has to be done while doing, not like, shift, lift and shift, basically. That doesn't work actually. So you need to really evaluate what you need on cloud, what are the critical business applications you want to run, and how you want to keep cost and business both on par and ensure that everything is in place.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for throwing some light on that, Mr. Swami. Next, I want to understand in today's, digital era, how relevant do you think fintech collaborations are, especially when we talk about housing finance? And are there any emerging trends that we can expect when we talk about evolving landscape for housing finance?
Fintech collaborations, mostly of the fintechs now, as I would have seen couple maybe mostly in unsecured ways, basically, if you talk. But collaborating with in a co-lending space for a secured loans and also with the government coming up with some initiatives like ONDC and also like, some UPI, this thing, lending basically. So a lot of exploration is happening where we can bring this, where we can collaborate in the secured loan space also, basically. Probably it may start with SME lending or whatever. That can be the starting point of it. But as a collaboration, I would say that we would co-lending with banks would see a great future going forward, basically.
Wonderful. And what concluding to this session, what I would also want to understand from you next is any key recommendations or any key advices that you would like to give away as a leader to organizations in the fast evolving landscape of housing finance in terms of security, in terms of adopting emerging technology, the trends in technology space.
Adopting to emerging technology is a must for every organization and for every IT, whoever is in the IT space or in the. What I would suggest is Keep your digital landscape simple. Don't make it complex. Keeping things simple is the most complex work you have to do behind, basically, because keeping your digital landscape as simple as possible will ensure that you are light, nimble on your feet, and always ready to adopt the change. Don't go overboard on too many integrations, too many when the market is flooded with vendors, the market is flooded with so many things actually. But you actually do need to evaluate your use case, especially against the importance of the what value it can give to the business. Against that backdrop, if you evaluate every single solution, then I think your digital landscape will be pretty simple. Not much. It's very, you can keep it very simple, very organized, and very clean.
Absolutely. So, would it be safe to assume maybe depending on the business requirements, and the priorities, it could be your operational efficiency or scalability. That is how you can adopt to new technologies and then decide. Then that could be the deciding factors for businesses to keep it simple or, adapt to more trends.
Yeah, see, yes, of course, but the whole point is you have to keep business as the priority, understand what business needs, what works for business. Okay, there can be something really great, but it may not work for my business. So I may need not, I can wait for that. I don't need to implement it today. As simple as that. So we need to see what works for the business, how adoption, the more I've seen is actually you can bring in technologies, a lot of new emerging technologies. How can you make them adopt at organization level? That plays a very key role in benefiting from what you have implemented. So you have to really understand adoption part of it. You need to evaluate this complete spectrum of things actually. How it finally deliver value to a business when I'm bringing in some new feature or a new emerging trend or a technology or for that matter, whatever it is basically. How can I implement? How can it help business? How can it help management? How can it help customers? How can it help operations basically? How it was. Like see, a few years before we did robotic process automation. It eliminated a lot of manual work. It brought in basically, speed to the operation because so many reports, so many manual repetitive work has to be done actually. So people can concentrate more on work which adds value to them rather than doing these repetitive works. Then dashboards we created through Power BI. So a lot of analytics has come. So then it helped businesses to see various stories on where their strategic indicators are, how they're progressing, and take corrective actions actually. So these are very important. Then in every space of lending, I have seen actually when I was completely from a software services background into a finance space basically. So much of evolution has happened in technologies. Okay, but what we need and how we are, bringing in things together, but ensuring to keep it as simple as possible for the organization and also for customer, for the employees, and for everyone concerned.
Absolutely. And one last question, Mr. Swami. This comes from a customer point of view. Any recommendations or strategies that you can suggest for, customers looking forward to have that seamless, trustworthy experience, especially now that we are hearing about cases like digital arrest when it comes to finance or housing finance to have that end-to-end seamless journey?
The end-to-end seamless journey in a housing finance do happen, except only where you have, because of it being a secured lending, where your legal touch point is there, where your property mortgages have to happen. You need to go physically go to store office for, having a clear paper or see these tier three, tier four, tier two towns actually. As you understand India, basically, there is a lot of complex nature to our property is basically. So there has to be settlement deeds, there has to be gift deeds, so many changes has to happen. And when you take a housing loan, the whole equation of a family, the family changes can be there actually over a period of time. The family can change. Okay, so we need to be really be very, when people say seamless end-to-end digital, it's seamless until sanction it can happen, but after when it legal, it comes to a legal point where there are. And if you see, there are few states which have taken things forward in terms like in Maharashtra. I think today I see MODTs can be done online. that helps speed up further thing, and it also eliminates a lot of saves a lot of time for both the customer and also for the organization. So digitizing land records, which is also being taken up by the government, is one more thing basically, which will benefit housing loans going seamlessly digital end to end in a long way. So there are sprouts of hope coming up. That space also will be addressed like how other spaces actually. So no one imagined that Aadhaar verification, PAN verification, bank account, all this have happened over a period of time. Some 20 years, 10 years, 10 years before, no one was imagining these things would happen so easily. But it started happening. And similarly, I hope this also will happen to ensure like how today what happens is from a loan origination to a sanction, it happens very seamlessly and very fast. And even mandate creation happens to eNACH. So many ways of mandate creations are there. That also happens seamlessly. There's absolutely no issue. Until the loan agreement is signed by the customer, that also happens seamlessly. So until that point, there is a seamless transaction happen. But when you need to secure a mortgage, when you need to have original title deeds of the customer with you in hand, it needs to be verified properly. The ownership has to be verified properly. It needs to be secured properly. The registrar office intervention is needed for creating a mortgage and all this. So this is where it takes a little time. And today, the TAT of the housing loan actually depends on how good your property papers are. Maybe in some cases where formal customers, housing finance banks lend actually, where a builder has a very clear title deed or a approval, pre-approved banking loans and all that stuff they have, tying up with banks and other stuff, then it makes a little sense or a different situation. Otherwise, it doesn't for organizations like Aptus Value Housing, who is serving the customers in tier 3, tier 4 towns, affordable housing segment, where there are a lot of challenges actually. We believe in that physical touch. We believe in understanding our customers and also taking. So that is where it differs basically.
Great.
But
And
still, we have one of the best stats, I would say. We are having a very good, seamless journey most of the time, except that last bit of, that physical interaction is needed.
fantastic. And speaking of challenges, does geographical or cultural, difference make is a deciding factor when it comes to challenges and managing those nitty-gritties when we talk about the digital and the physical aspect of housing finance? How relevant do you think that is, or what kind of common challenges are observed?
Geographical, demographic,
Because you also said,
the behaviors
correct,
is a great challenge.
correct.
Okay, you need to really understand. It depends on the geography. A person in Tamil Nadu and a person in Telangana are two completely different characters, basically. Okay, so and the behavioral, even records, land records, so many things changes happens. Based on from state to state, it varies. Actually, the risk appetite varies, their needs vary. So many things vary from. So it is absolutely you are on target actually when you say that that's a challenge. Actually, it's a huge challenge, and organizations which understand those challenges do well. Do well.
Absolutely. And along the line, I am really curious to know because the southern states or the southern cities of India, Telangana as a state being great when it comes to housing, there's a lot of scope. With the latest union budget being rolled out, there are, some allocations to technology as well as housing sector as well. I would just want to understand your perspective on that.
See, we are present in Tamil Nadu, we are present in Andhra, coastal Andhra, Rayalaseema, and we have expanded so much in Telangana in last year, more than 50 plus branches now in Telangana. We are present in Karnataka, and we are also having our footprint in Maharashtra and also in Odisha. So, and there is a huge business opportunity there available everywhere. And Telangana is doing really well for us, and we do really well. And it is one of the key states where there is a lot of focus and housing needs in these tier 2, tier 3 towns has been really good actually. And there is a huge need, and we do pretty much deeper in every market where we are. We are whether it is Tamil Nadu, whether it is coastal Andhra, whether it is Rayalaseema, or whether it is Telangana. Our chairmen and MDs perspectives has always been that we, whichever market we enter, we not only being wider, we emphasize on being deeper, so that as a complete, it's not like having one branch in some place, another branch. It's not like that actually. We form clusters, we form very close, we go deep into that market, which will greatly benefits our operations.
Wonderful. And Mr. Krishna Swami, thank you so much for providing your insights and sharing your ideas as well, especially when it comes to the Indian landscape for finance and housing finance sector. This conversation has been very insightful, and I'm sure our audience has a lot to take away from this session. So thank you once again for being a part of the series.
Thank you very much, Simran, for hosting me today.
The pleasure is totally ours. And with that, we would be concluding this session today.
Thank you.
Thank you.